Speaking of the Jaguars, 6-8 tonight, taking on the 7-7 Jets, who have lost 3 in a row. Here's Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, the first 2 picks in the 2021 draft, talking about competing against each other in tonight's game. Here they are.
In your mind, do you kind of have like a competitive switch that kind of flips like, okay, I want to go out and play a little bit harder?
I mean, not really. I think especially you look at where we're at in our season, like that's the feeling every week. And that's how we all feel here, no matter who we're playing, no matter who the other quarterback is. It just has to be. That's the way these games are down the stretch. So that's the mindset no matter what. I think that's one thing that's you can't do as a quarterback. I'm not playing against Zach. I'm playing against the Jets defense.
I would just say it's the Jets versus the Jaguars. We're just trying to go against those guys. It's interesting because it's almost like it's two separate things. When you're sitting there watching the other quarterback, it's like it's not even the same kind of game. We're going against their defense, so it is separate, of course. But you're always trying to go out there and get that win.
Yeah, it's never the case that 2 quarterbacks play against each other unless there's some funky defensive plan at play. But you always make those comparisons, and these guys are always going to be linked, number 1 and number 2. And there wasn't a whole lot of debate. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 to the Jaguars. Zach Wilson, number 2 to the Jets. And then it became very interesting after that. 3 with Trey Lance. We didn't know who clearly was the third best. And then Justin Fields, who's arguably been best of all of them from 2021. And then Mac Jones, who took a team to the playoffs last year. So, yeah, it's not as – because of everything Zach Wilson's gone through, self-inflicted or otherwise, It doesn't pop the way it did when they met last year.
Yeah,
Did they meet last year right out of the gate?
No, it was later in the year.
Or early. It was like September?
Yeah, it was late. It was like a December game.
Never mind.
Yeah. The Jets won. Trevor played well. Zach made a few plays.
I should have just stopped it last year.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry. You can't remember everything. You're an old timer. You're going to forget some things every now and then.
It was Jets. It was Sam Darnold getting the Jets.
Oh, that's what you're thinking. Okay. See, there you saved yourself. Okay, you're good there. But I mean, you're right. It lost a little of its luster with all the circumstances surrounding Zach Wilson. We'll see, but it's still the number 1 and number 2 picks. And Mike, you and I both know they can say what they want, but they know. I mean, and especially I think when you look at Zach Wilson right now, this is one where, hey, yeah, he's big time, being questioned here in New York. It seems like the fans want to throw him out the door and get rid of him, right? I think it's a little overreaction. It's a little too harsh on everything the guy does. That's all I've been trying to say. I see talent. Trevor Lawrence he's gotten a little farther along in his development here. It was a little bumpy early in the year, but he's caught fire right now to where, I mean, he's the last 3-4 weeks, he's made, like, I'm the franchise I'll carry you guys here. Big time plays. I mean, the Ravens, they score 28. He comes back and beats them. 36 against the Titans, comes back and beats them. Dallas Cowboys down 17, throwing rockets and lasers all over the field. So Trevor Lawrence has quietly here the second half of the season kind of infused himself into, like, forget like nice rookie quarterback. We're getting into like, no, this is one of the better quarterbacks in football conversation. It's 24 touchdowns, it's 7 interceptions, it's 3,500 yards passing. I mean, the numbers are backing up some of the things you see on the field, and he's making wow plays in big time moments now, and that's why they took him number 1, and that's what's going to be fun tonight, Mike. It's that offense which is very balanced. Etienne can run for 100 yards like that. We know he can hit deep shots with Evan Ingram and Zay Jones and be aggressive. And then it's this Jets defense that is fast, flies around, knows what it's supposed to do, and causes problems for every offense it plays. So that in itself is going to be, worth the price of admission watching those 2 squads go against each other.
Before we move on and talk a little bit more about Zach Wilson, what he will or won't do in his second start in just 5 days.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I have an important high-end technical analytics-based question.
All right, cool.
What year, okay, is the over-under on when he shows up for training camp without the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure haircut? Like, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I
he's
hear ya.
always had.
I know.
And I just noticed it with the hat on and the hair hanging down. Like, at some point, what's going to happen is Mrs. Trevor Lawrence is going to say, you're too old for that hair. At what year is that going to be? Is it 2030? Is that when we start thinking about it, or is it a little bit earlier? Because he's always had that. That's just him.
It's a good
From
question.
the moment we first saw him at Clemson, he had that. And I can't picture him without it.
I know.
But it occurred to me when we were watching him earlier, one of these days he's not going to have that. And I'm just wondering what year it is. Because he's not going to have it when he's 70, for crying out loud. Like, at some point in the next 40 years, Trevor Lawrence is going to cut his damn hair. And that's what I used to hear all the time, because I may or may not have had hair that was not quite that long.
Yeah.
Listen, I envy him, because I wanted to have my hair that long when I was his age. But my mother, when I was visiting my house, would have come in with scissors while I was asleep and cut it.
I hear
She
you.
threatened it, and she would have made good on it.
I'm going through the same damn
I wonder
struggle.
how long.
I'm going in the struggle of my house right now.
Until someone cuts the hair.
I don't know.
With your son?
Well, my son, his hair is long. My wife and I have been saying, like, so you're going to go for the Trevor Lawrence look. That's what we're telling him. And he's kind of like telling us yes. So, and trust me, Mike, I'm the kind of guy that, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't do that. I love Trevor Lawrence. He's the man, but I don't like his hair. Don't do that. And then I'm watching my son play basketball, and he's running down the court, and he's doing this to get his hair out of the way. And I'm like, oh gosh, please. And I'm always, for the most part, been somewhat clean cut that way. And I want to go.
Like Dad.
I want to go cut his hair while he's asleep badly. But this is the style with the young kids. They all want this hair on top, like a Trevor Lawrence look, surfer kind of dude look, or the like Patrick Mahomes kind of like it's long on top, but we faded it on the side. Yeah, welcome to the club. I'm officially in there. But damn, I'm gonna give him another 3-4 years before he finally cuts it and gives us a new look. But damn, he doesn't need to. His new look on the football field, Mike, is special. I mean, it's special. We're seeing a guy that is rocketing up the board as far as top quarterbacks in the league. Again, I don't want to be crazy here, and I haven't really thought about this, but it's hard to look at football right now and not go like, I think Trevor Lawrence has entered the top 10 quarterback in football conversation. That's all I'll say right now, and of course has the potential to be in the top 5. So that's what's really neat to see that kind of turnaround. And Doug Peterson, Press Taylor, offensive coordinator, they deserve a lot of credit for all the things you talked about, Mike. Just getting that organization going in the right direction. And once again, having a real professional NFL head coach there to, calm the waters, get everybody going in the right direction, and get the quarterback straight. And that's where Dougie Peterson deserves a lot of credit.
Well, one more important hair-related comment.
What else you got to say about this?
I got my hair cut by the same guy for 21 years. I was like a member of the family, right? From when I was 5 years old, when we moved into the house that I grew up in, 2 blocks away, walk up there, get your hair cut, and come home. 21 years until I moved out of the house and moved to Pittsburgh after I graduated from law school. And one time, I got sent back by my parents. And what a walk of shame that was. I had to go back to the barber because he didn't take enough off, and it was my fault for not telling him to take enough off. So I had to sit there and wait until he had an opening so they could put me back in the chair and take more off. I don't even know I gave him any more money.
I love it.
But I had to do it. They sent me back.
Right.
Because my hair was still too long after I got it cut. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
I still remember sitting there feeling like an idiot, like an ass, like I'm sitting here waiting for the chance for him to take off more hair because I didn't tell him to take off enough in the first. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.